Hello and welcome to episode number 130 of Week in Review. My name is Sean, and on this week's show, we're going to fuel up with some Mountain Dew game fuel and get all excited to talk about this week's game, Ooblets. We'll also look forward to this week's new releases and the streams happening over on twitch.tv/SeanOsaurusRex. Before we talk about this week's game, we should fuel up and get the energy we need to talk about those dastardly Ooblets. I guess they're not really dastardly, those kindly, farmly, helpful Ooblets. And what better way to do that than with a drink literally called game fuel. There it is. You spin it the right way. Look at what is in your hand instead of what's on the camera, because you're going to be like, oh, I need to turn it this way. And then you're like, that doesn't work. If this can looks familiar to you and you're like, oh, Sean, you've already reviewed this. The other one that I reviewed was watermelon. This one is raspberry lemonade. And I'm pretty sure that this was like a seasonal flavor, because I found a can that I apparently bought months and months ago that expired 4 months ago, and I never reviewed it. So now we have this one brand new, fresh. Make sure September 7th, 2020. Okay, we're good. We're excellent. We're in good shape to try this out. So we'll crack it open. As you know, big fan of the game fuel. I've reviewed all 6 flavors currently, and I always forget that they explode. So hopefully my keyboard's okay. So we'll give this a try. I like raspberry flavor. I like lemonade. I'm curious how this goes together. If you remember, the watermelon one was really good. I just wished it wasn't the zero kind. It was just like the regular normal mixture, because I think it would be really good. And I definitely like berry flavor with Mountain Dew. The lemonade could give it a little bit too much lemon. I'm not really sure. Or too much citrus. That's the way to phrase that. So we'll see what this one brings in. There's a hint that you can smell the raspberry. It's not a hint. You can smell it. It's there. I have a lot of footage of me either sniffing or eating things on my hard drive, so that's exciting. Try it here. You really taste the lemon. You can taste the citrus. There's like a little bit of a raspberry. It's kind of more the aftertaste. This is pretty good. I'm liking this. They've really done a good job with their flavors, because the worst one's cherry, and the second to worst one is the just regular Mountain Dew one. But the flavors that they've really nailed, they've hit out of the park. The orange is very good. I like the tropical, the yellow one, tropical, whatever it is. They all have weird names. And obviously I love the blue raspberry. It's my favorite. I would say this is probably like third. This is really good. Yeah, this is a solid entry into the game fuel line. I don't think this one tastes quite as much like a zero flavor as the watermelon one did. Like, I remember the watermelon one having like really good flavor, but it tasted just a little bit off. This one doesn't have that like off taste. You could probably put this in like with the rest of them in like a kind of just a blind cup, and I don't know if I would be able to taste exactly which one is the zero flavor. So that's good news. But yeah, I don't know. I found this randomly in Safeway. I haven't really seen it anywhere else. Of course, I haven't really been looking because I didn't know that they were adding new flavors to it. But if you see it and you like game fuel, and you want to have an energy drink at 7:30 p.m. on a Monday when you're filming a video, this would be an excellent choice. Spin it for the camera. There you go. Mountain Dew game fuel. They're continuing to knock it out of the park. The only reason I don't like the cherry is I just don't like cherry flavor. All of the other ones are at least good. But now that we're all fueled up with our raspberry lemonade, we can talk about this week's game, which is Ooblets. Ooblets released in early access last week on the Epic Game Store and on Xbox One, and I'm very happy that it released on Xbox One under the game preview program. I've been following this game for a while, but I've never felt like I understood what it was doing. It was like kind of like a farm simulation game mixed with a little bit of like Pokemon, mixed with like a battle system that has cards, and I don't think I ever really understood how all those things fit together until I played the game. And boy howdy do they fit together well, and I really love this game. What I want to do is I want to focus on a couple of things that I think it does really well, and talk about some points that hopefully they will either improve on or make sure are implemented as the game nears its 1.0 launch. I have no idea when that's coming up, but it seems like this might be a long process. This is a like very first release edition. And basically, the story is super simple. It's like a lot of the other farming games, which, to be fair, like sells this game really short of what it does and what makes it so special. But you end up on like a new area. You're new to the town. You're trying to find a new life. You're given a like kind of crappy looking farm, and it's your job to make money, to upgrade everything, and to make like a powerful farm and help the residents around the area. Pretty standard stuff. We've seen this in all manner of the farming sim games. I mean, it's an Animal Crossing, My Time at Portia, Stardew Valley, and this pretty standard stuff. But what I think this game does so well is it has a couple of gameplay mechanics that I think make it really interesting. The first one for me personally is the experience system and leveling up your character. They have a very like Call of Duty-ified leveling system that when you level up you get new quests, and when you do those quests you get experience, and when you get experience you level up, which gives you new quests. And it's this nice feedback that kept me going. It also helps that there are actual like quests in this game, because for me a lot of these games boil down to like, okay, go ahead and just do whatever, it's up to you. And that overwhelms me and puts me in a position where I sit there and I'm like, there's too much for me to do. I don't know exactly like where to go. And while I was like getting distracted during this game and I felt like I was kind of spinning a lot of plates sometimes, it was all on my own, of my own doing. Like, I'm trying to get this like upgrade, but I need to find this other thing, and I have this quest that's going to happen, that sort of thing. There's just a lot going on. You gain experience in this game by doing everything. It's really awesome. You gain experience from talking to people. You gain experience from doing dance battles. You gain experience from selling stuff, from planting stuff, from finding stuff. It's all there, and at the end of the day, it gives you a breakdown of what you did in that day and how much experience you got, and that shows you the progress you have to the next level. What I'm hoping that this game does is I hope it has a good balance between farming versus dance battles versus like quest completion, and kind of making sure that that is all even depending on what you want to do. For example, like maybe you want to just farm for like a week, or you want to just focus on doing that just in general. You're not super interested in the dance battles or the other aspects, the quest aspects of the game. Hopefully that doing that for like a week time will grant you similar experience to other portions of the game for that same amount of time, and the game doesn't favor anything too much one way or the other. I think they're on the right path with it. I did like a pretty nice mix of things because I enjoy having that sort of like, here's your quest, it's going to push you in a direction. If I end up getting distracted, that's on me. And then it just kind of doing that loop over and over and over again. I also had a nice time balancing things, because I would plant crops and then I would go over and like try and do a quest, and then I would go over and do like a couple of dance battles, and kind of bouncing back and forth between them to kind of keep myself moving through the days. Which leads me to only one of two things that I didn't like about the game, and I don't think it's necessarily exactly or specifically with Ooblets. I think it's just a problem with the farming thing in general. Toward the end of the second part of my playthrough, which I believe was day like 14 in game, I had 4 or 5 quests running, which is another nice little point, because you can always, in the bottom left corner, you can always have your quests and the things you need for them. They can always be on display, which is really nice, because you can just look and go like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. I ended up with like 4 of them, and I got kind of stuck because everything that was planted needed like multiple days in game to grow. And that kind of sucked because I felt like I was kind of just aimless. And there's a weird thing where the dance battles that you do in the game don't advance the time in the game overall during the day. At least I didn't notice that they did. It seemed like when I was going in and doing a couple of them in a row, the clock up in the top right hand corner, or right hand, whatever, up in the top corner wasn't moving very fast. And I wish that it moved the day forward a little bit, because it'd be nice to be like, okay, I have a day or 2 days before this crop is grown. I'm just going to go fart around, and I'm going to go do some of these dance battles and work with my Ooblets and level them up. And it's progressing through the day in a way that keeps me going, instead of feeling like, oh, I've done like 10 of these things, and it kind of just is like, like I haven't moved the day forward at all. And that very conveniently leads into the second aspect of this game that I think is really awesome. I really love the Ooblets, and I love the Pokemon-esque collection aspect of them. When you arrive to the island, you're introduced to the Ooblets. They're these little creatures, they run around. You have to battle them in dance battles, and when I first started playing this game, I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to like the card battling aspect of these dance battles. They're super cute, they're just like little dance battles. You have to score a certain number of points to win. You get a selection of cards that are dealt to you, and each card has a number in the upper left-hand corner that tells you how many beats it takes to do that move. And the cards can be like, you have like a special ability on one of your Ooblets that throws like frustration on the team, and that makes their dance moves less powerful, which means they get fewer points, which makes it easier to win. You have cards that can make your dance moves more powerful. They're called hype, and that'll help you gain points. And those are your more offensive base maneuvers, and there's some other things in there as well. You can gain extra beats. Beats are the maximum number of moves that you can have in a turn. Some of the cards take 1 beat to play, some of them take 2, some of them take 0. I've seen upwards of like 4, and even as I was getting later into the game, because I played about 10 hours-ish, 8 to 10 hours, somewhere in there, they have cards that will give you a lot of points if you can get it built up over a certain number of turns. One of the creatures that I had one that was like gain 16 points after 4 turns, but those can be canceled out by the other team. If that sounds complex, it's actually not. It makes a lot of sense in the context of the game, and I think they explain it well enough to where I understood what they were going for, and I caught on very quickly, and I actually really grew to love the dance battles, and it's my favorite part of the game. I really enjoyed it. I like going out and looking for new Ooblets to find. Basically what happens is when you beat the Ooblets, you have an opportunity to get a seed from them, and then you can go back to your farm, you can plant the seed, then you can grow another buddy, and then you kind of fill out your roster of Ooblets, and different Ooblets have different abilities and dance battles and all sorts of stuff. And it's a really cool, like, very Pokemon sort of thing where I just really enjoyed that aspect. Unfortunately, this has the most baffling decision in this game. You can only have 8 Ooblets, which wouldn't be a big deal if you could let Ooblets go or change them out or move them in some way so you could get new Ooblets in. You can't do that. I don't know why they did not put this in here. It doesn't make any sense. They've come out, they've said that they're going to patch it in, but it's just so confusing as to why this wasn't in here in the first place, because there are more than 8 varieties of Ooblets, even just on the regular island. And it's just weird that they would not put some kind of mechanic to where you could add more, like either upgrading your farm or being able to release them or something in that realm where you can get more of them, because there are a bunch of Ooblets that I would love to have on my team, but I can't because I have like 4 of the same one, and I don't remember the game ever saying that you can only have a certain number, and I certainly don't remember it saying that you can't release any of them, and it's just a really weird thing. Again, they've addressed it. They said they're going to add that in. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Worst case scenario, I just kind of start a new farm and tinker around with some of the other Ooblets that I didn't use, though I would rather not do that because I'm enjoying my playthrough right now and I don't really want to redo the questing system stuff. But it's not that big of a deal because I could, like I was talking about earlier, I could just focus on strictly the Ooblet battles and just kind of work my way up that way. So that is an option, but it is unfortunate that that's the option that I have to take. But neither of the negatives really outweighed the positives. I really enjoyed my time with this game. I can't wait to play more. I had a blast with it. I'm super excited to follow this game up to its like 1.0 launch. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm excited to see where it goes. I have what feels like a bunch of content to still do. I have quests that are open that I'm thinking about, like, oh, I gotta get back in there so I can get this stuff done so I can progress forward. It looks like there are a couple new areas you can go to once you repair a hot air balloon. I've been to one of the areas, but my progress is blocked because I need to get 10 things, coffee beans or something, whatever it is. It's a really cute, fun, bright, colorful, super relaxing, super calm game that's just like, I have fun streaming it, but I also feel like I'm not great at streaming it because I just sit there and I'm like, oh, I'm so relaxed. Like I'm just doing my thing. I'm farming. I'm watering my plants. I'm like doing the dance battles with Ooblets. It has a couple of quirks here and there, but it's, again, nothing that overrode anything that I really enjoyed about this game. I highly recommend people checking it out. If you're on Xbox One, you can download a free 2-hour trial of the game, and you can see what it's all about. And if you like it, you can buy it. If you don't, you can walk away from it. No big deal. But I do recommend at least checking out the 2-hour trial if you like the farming simulation games, and even if you like kind of the Pokemon aspect of things, that might be worth it as well. It's really good. Finally, on this week's show, we'll take a look at this week's new releases. Nothing in theaters. Scoob is on Blu-ray, but it's been on digital since May. And then there's only one game called Rain Swept this week, which is a murder mystery game that sounded kind of cool when I read the description. I didn't watch a trailer or anything, but that one of the list of things that I was looking at was the one that stuck out to me. The streams this week on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex are going to be a little bit of a mess because there are 3 things that are happening this week that I'm interested in. I want to continue playing Paper Mario the Origami King. I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I want to continue playing Ooblets because I'm really enjoying that, and I want to see where it goes. Xbox is also running a special thing for the next week where they have over 60 demos that you can download and you can play. So most of the streams on Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are going to be one of those 3 things, but I don't know exactly where they're going to fit in. So I don't know. Go over to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex, hit the follow button, and then make sure that you have notifications turned on, and you can see whatever I randomly decide to play on those days. Wednesday will be Grab Bag episodes, I believe it's 7 and 8, and then Thursday will be Rico, followed by something. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be, but we'll do the Rico installment, and then we'll move on to something else. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Week in Review. If you like the content, be sure to scroll on down and hit that subscribe button, and then ring that bell so you're notified when I post new videos every day about 8 a.m. Head on over to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex for streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, most likely Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and a smorgasbord of who knows what going on over there. And be sure to check back every Tuesday right here for more Week in Review. We'll see you next week.